I'm Tim Klein. A lot of people these days are bringing back the natural beauty of wooden floors by sanding and refinishing. And one such person is Gary Cardillo. Gary, welcome.
Hello.
Now, Gary, along with a friend, is refinishing all of the wooden floors in this big, beautiful Victorian home. Certainly a monumental challenge to meet. Gary, from one homeowner to another, what things have you learned and what things should we look out for?
Well, Tim, it could really be a strenuous work on the back, and it's a rather dusty job.
So it really is no cakewalk. You've got to be in shape mentally as well as physically to take on this challenge. Now, how do you get started? What about the tools and primary equipment?
Well, you need a floor sander and an edger, which you can get from most rental shops in the area, and they rent for about $50 to $60 a day for both pieces of equipment.
Okay, now once you've got the primary equipment, the most important thing to keep in mind, everybody, when you're sanding and refinishing floors is the sanding technique. You don't want to sand every which way and ruin the floors by creating grooves.
What you want to do is you want to remove as little of the wood as you have to. You also want to use as fine a grit paper as possible. Sand always with the grain and always lap the joints, which is to not go over stop your sander in the same place each time, to kind of pass by where you've stopped before, so you're always getting a pass that's over the previous sanding mark.
Now, Chris has taken 2-3 hours to sand a 10 by 12 foot room. Is that about normal?
That's about what it takes. And you have to also use the edger to edge the floor and a hand scraper to scrape around areas that are hard to get and into corners. So this can take you a little extra time.
Gary, based on what you've learned, how do you take care of all the dust?
We recommend wearing masks, of course, and we found that a big exhaust fan in the room can help a lot, because dust does leak out of the bags that are provided on the sanders, and this will take it right out of the room and keep the air clean.
Once you finish sanding, you've got all that dust on the floor. How do you remove that?
Well, it's good to let it settle for about a day, Tim, and then go ahead and do a good vacuum job, and then apply one of the various finishes, which is really of your choice. There's about 4 different finishes that you can use. Shellac and varnish are some of the oldest finishes, and then there's oil finishes and polyurethanes of today.
Gary, what type of finish do you recommend for your floors, and why?
We're using an oil finish. It's a flatter finish than you'd get with a polyurethane or varnish, but oil is easy to apply and easy to retouch if there's any problems with the floor afterwards.
So sanding and refinishing wooden floors, a job that will require some heavy-duty sanding, and that always means lots of dust. But if you follow the tips and maybe even get somebody to help you like Gary has, it'll be that much easier for you, and your floors will look fantastic.
Beautiful.
Gary, thank you very much. I'm Tim Klein. Remember, when you follow the tips, it's that easy. See you next time.